Hello everyone, Mystic here, and welcome back to A Hat in Time. Last time we began chapter 6 of the game, skipping over chapter 5. And, as you can see, we've done Bon Voyage and Ship Shape. And also, as you can see, there's only 3 missions. The final one being Rock the Boat. Once we've done that, we can automatically go for the rifts. So, no dilly-dallying. Let's rock this boat. As you can see, the captain's not actually manning the ship right now. And in the distance is what appears to be the shine of our timepiece. As we're not going towards it, let's make it our duty to get there. And sadly, no one knows of what we're about to do. Except for these few seals. The captain's not in his boat or in his seat. So let's get in and let's drive. It was over here, wasn't it? Or it might have been over there. Let's just keep rocking it until we find it. Uh-oh. And like that, we have completely jeopardized everyone on the ship, solely to try and get a timepiece. In case you couldn't tell, this ship is meant to reference the Titanic. All from the fact that it's literally unable to sink from its name, to the fact on its voyage trip it hits an iceberg and proceeds to sink.
It's all going down, pup. Never thought I'd see the day. Her maiden voyage, too. Won't take more than a few minutes for all this to hit the seafloor, I think. Well, you might want to get to a lifeboat, pup, and be smart.
However, as you can see, we are dealing with some dangerous waters. Luckily, there are some life ponds around to help you out. But also, of major importance, we need to find these people and save them. As you can see though, this map, now that it's all slanted, is a lot harder to run around. Like I said though, there are hundreds of health pawns just scattered about, making it somewhat survivable. We have 2 more that we need to save, so let's go save this one first. We've saved so far a seal and one of the conductor's kids. Now that's 2. However, just like in the last mission that we did, the more stuff we carry, the harder it is to walk around. So we need to be careful. And I'm trying to figure out again how to get to that last person. Oh, I believe it was through here. Yeah. We come up onto these. Uh-oh. I thought that was a solid surface. And here they are. Another seal. As you can see, it's getting more difficult to locate a way out. We're back at the captain's quarters, so we need to figure out a way out from here. As we can see, stuff is blocking the way in certain parts, so our best bet might be to U-turn. However, as you can see here, we've got some references to stuff like the crows, the kids with knives, the seals, witnessing, I believe it's the conductor going under, and them trying to carry food, as well as two that are broken. As it seems to be the best way, we're going to be backtracking the whole way that we came in to get out. I just hope that you're capable of dealing with such a large stack of people. Because they will occasionally make you bump into the walls. As you can also see, the ice is somewhat slippery. You also could probably notice I am not using any of my hat abilities. Went the wrong way, I just realised. The reason that I'm using none of my hat abilities is in this mission, when you have multiple people like I do, it's already tough as it is to walk. So using stuff like the sprint hat only makes it harder. As you can see, even the most basic of things is not so basic. You don't need to worry about the ship sinking, as it technically does not tilt any more than this. I'm now starting to regret my choice of carrying all four at once. As you can see down here, Rift Token. This helps you get a bit bearing too. Alright, now I'm starting to feel like I'm lost, because I'm just trying to do the same thing, but it will just take me back to an area I've been. I'm going to try and get as high up as I can. Or I'm going to die off. Depends on what way these four want me to go. No. These four really want me to go in the water, apparently. There we go. Seems like our best bet might be to try and find a route through the casino. Or not. The four of them didn't let me get on land. Okay. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. And I'm going to only bring two at a time.
Won't take more than a few minutes for all this to hit the seafloor, I think. Well, you might want to get to a lifeboat, pup. And be smart.
I had completely forgotten that's a way of shortcutting. Okay, do what I did on my second run through and not what I did on my first. And since I've done that, and I just remembered that's a thing, I feel like I'm more capable now speedrunning through a lot of this. Here we go. The last one is over here. And we're now closer to the exit. There we go. Once you're here, you're more or less safe. It's just a matter of if these four will let you actually get to the boat. There. Once you save those four, though, it's only the first bit. As now we've got to trek through the ship some more. There are even more people that need to be saved, but most importantly, there are now icicles which are dropping. The closest one that we could save is right here. As you can then see, there's one all the way out on the iceberg over there. But as you can also now see, we do have ice platforms and other bits of parkour we could do.
Whoa, you're like pretty strong, huh?
That's right, you can save the fish. Before I go and grab the other two, I'm going to put these two away. so then I have zero worries about my controls. As you can see, now we're saving the Mafia boss. And the last one is inside of there. You also should note the camera does not want to be your friend. And looks like the last one we're saving is the conductor.
Be careful, lass. Mind me feathers.
And as you can see, the conductor's seemingly flying half the time, which is weird. However, now that we've saved these two, only one remains.
Don't wait up for me, pup. Get in a boat and scram. This is my dang ship, and I'll go down with it.
Now, we have to save the captain. But unlike the others, we are on a strict timer.
You want to save him? I'm not gonna hang around a sinking ship. If you don't make it back quick, we'll leave without you.
Now that we're on this timer, we gotta rush to the captain. As you can see, he's back in the starting space, so we've got to make a really mad dash to reach him. And I don't believe I'm making it, as I didn't get that jump. Except, I can shortcut somewhat around. And thanks to what we saw, we know he's in the laundry zone.
Where's the lass? The ship is sinking. We gotta get out of here. Come on. Get over here, lassie. We're leaving now.
And, as you can see, we've got quite the trek to make. We need to return to where we came in.
Put me down, pup.
So, for this, I'm not going to mind taking some damage, because we need a run.
Let go of me. Leave me be, pup.
There's a random seal saying to go this way. Not sure why he's in here still. As you can see, sprinting is kind of important once you've got the captain. All you got to do is just climb up here, run through this bit, and hop on down to the ship, and place the captain.
Pup, why wouldn't you just let me go down with my ship? I can't drown, but at least I could pretend for a bit. Although, without me, this crew will never be able to get the lifeboats to shore. Fine. Crew, let's go home.
Thank you, miss.
Like, thanks, dudette. I totally didn't see this coming.
Aye, thank you, lass. The little ones haven't learned to swim yet.
Hopefully our insurance covers this. Anyway, I can't give out refunds, but it looks like there's something shiny on that iceberg over there. Funny how our ship crashed right next to it. It's all yours, pup.
And just like that, the whole reason we crashed the ship is now available to us. As you can also see, we're in a completely different set as the ship is sinking over there. Before we leave, let's quickly check if there's anything on this tiny iceberg, as there is a rift token. So, with that, the entirety of Arctic Cruise's normal missions is already finished, with only 3. Arctic Cruise is by far the shortest of all chapters, as it only contains 3 of the typical act missions. The game is once again informing us we can go to the end of the game, but we've still got some more stuff to do. The Arctic Cruise only has 2 time rifts. One, which you can see is in the starting part of where we go for Bon Voyage, and one which we saw already before we even get on the ship. We're going to Bon Voyage as both of these missions are not really the best suited to get to the first rift, but Bon Voyage lets us get there a bit quicker. As we already saw the intros, I will be skipping them.
Are we ready?
We also will not be talking to anyone, as our main goal here is exclusively to get to that time rift. And that is how you can speedrun through all the parkour, just to let you know.
Attention, this is your captain speaking.
Now that we're in here, you can see the rift just over here.
All passengers, please check in at the lobby desk. I'll be on board shortly.
And here's the first of the 2 rifts, the balcony. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this rift. Namely, we need the Dweller's Mask. Second of all, there are segments where we need to slide through. Nope, I missed the part. I missed the part right there. That's a bit embarrassing. As you can see, though, ow. As you can see, you kind of have to stand back and dive because you can just flat out not get through, which is annoying. Which is also why you kind of want to take these at an angle. Otherwise, you're going to have to do something along those lines. One thing I wish is that if Gears for Breakfast could have changed anything, they could have made the gap there just a bit taller, so then you don't have to constantly hit your head. As you can also see, the hook shot is a necessity, which you should have known already if you went and did the mission normally. And as you can see, though, we're not quite there yet. We've still got some more to go. However, as you can also see, doing the little cheese strat like I did prior ain't gonna be that optional anymore, because these platforms are gonna fall almost instantaneously. However, you can pull off a trick to instantaneously get around that. Yes, there's also a bit where you more or less will certifiably be lit on fire. Kind of annoying. You can also see it kind of gets just frustrating if you try to do the little trick. You know what? I'm going to do what they intended you to do. The no bonk badge makes it so when you dive, you don't actually hit anything. This makes it so much easier. But equally, you kind of want the Mad Hatter badge on still, as that part's almost impossible to get through. Well, that is something new. And I somehow salvaged that. I have no clue how I salvaged it, but I'm happy I salvaged it. That would have been another case of just annoying, constantly hit by fire and fall to death. But luckily, we can now get to the timepiece. Before we progress, I'm putting the fast hatter back on. And let's go for something bigger. That's not bigger, but... And we ended up with a 1-star colour. I probably should have gone for the 2-star, shouldn't I? Oh well. The final things that we'll be doing will include the purple rift for the Arctic cruise, and, as I'm going to show you, hopefully we'll get one more rift token to get a second chance at the slot machine after this purple rift. As you can see, it's quite literally at the start of Bon Voyage. Here we go. We skip through everything. We go past the normal route that we take to these squids and past the way onto the Mafia ship, all the way to our purple rift. Very quick, very easy. Time rift, deep sea. I 100% recommend for this rift the item magnet. And why? Well, you'll very soon learn why. As we have 9 picture book pieces. As well as this map is one of the harder variants of any of the maps. Having multiple paths and requiring some more advanced parkour, this will truly test you. As you can also see, Dweller's Mask is imperative. You don't have it, you can't collect everything. As you can also see, some of these picture book pieces will be very obnoxious, which is why having the badge for the item magnet is very, very handy. As you can see, there's nothing else at the moment for us to snag, so let's go to the second part. Some pesky cats have stolen normal ponds. It's good that they can't actually steal any of the rift ponds, or we'd be in a bad scenario. And as you can see here, the owls are enemies. Now, you might be thinking, could there be something back here? The answer is actually no. Even though it looks like it's a good place to hide something, they didn't put anything in this second part at all. It's all kept within the first segment. As there's one in this castle, which is possibly the easiest to find. And there's one next to the rift pod up there, which is actually maybe even easier. There's nothing around the base island, so now we're doing some parkour along starfishes of all things. Now here's where it automatically gets more confusing with bridging paths. As on the spot, you've got about 2 or 3. These paths can eventually link together, but it's best to just go with one path and then reset. As you can see, there's still nothing around. And then we get to a much harder segment, which is abusing fire. Now you might just think, oh, we can grab the pond. As you can see, there's an ice platform, meaning that we can inevitably just jump over. You also might remember I said it was a clever move to use this camera. If you've forgotten, well, the reason is the camera is a AOE lens that lets you look around. So within Purple Rifts, you're able to use it to check around everything. Oh, I went a bit too quick there, but as you saw, we did spot another picture book piece, trying to be sneaky and hide in the castle. However, of course, I had so much momentum, I just flew straight on off. There we go. You might assume that's all of it, but there is more. The game is kind of annoying with those kinds of ledges, but if you can get yourself situated onto this, and over to here you can get yourself a heart pond. And as you can see, there is indeed something over here. You can check around all of this, and you can spot that there is nothing hidden. Come up here, and you can see there's even more urchins. Then you reach the starfish to carry on over to this castle. As you could probably be guessing, feels like there's something hidden here, doesn't it? What if I told you, you hook shot again, but you jump on top of it? In this chest is a picture book piece. And I fell. This rift is also much more unforgiving, as missing means that you've got to go all the way back to the start, no matter how far you are. Meaning, that little extra bit, even if it isn't much, I'm going to show it, because might as well. You also could be guessing as to why I did this path again. Going the other way doesn't really help you reach where we're going, as both the ice platforms that you can actually jump onto, they both will lead you back to the middle part. As you can see, it's just a health pond, and as I'm going to demonstrate, it brings you back towards the middle. Luckily though, it brings us to our destination. This segment might not be as bad for finding the picture book pieces, but it's definitely annoying to locate everything. In this chest, a rift bomb. Possibly the most forgettable one. And just by coming over here, you can already see there's something a bit sneaky. Back here, you guessed it, a chest with the picture book piece. There are two ways of getting to there, but it's by far easier just to notice it on the first glance. You want to get up here, and you want to kill off this squid, so then you can grab a pond, and down here in the urchins, another picture book piece. While most of the parkour is kind of unforgiving, the map itself is forgiving, giving you quite a handful of health ponds. Yes, as you can see in there is nothing. So now let's do a bit of strange parkour. And grab up another pond. You can see that something over there is shiny. So let's head over. you need the brewing hat. Break it. And as you can see, it's just another rift pond. However, as you can see in the distance over there, one more picture book piece. You could break this, won't do anything for you. And over here is essentially where we originally were going to go. That is until we notice the secret bit over there. And just like that, we have more or less cleared out everything here. 6 ponds and 8 of the 9 picture books. This leaves the final picture book in the hardest segment of all, with tons and tons of fire and lava. Quite the stark opposite of what we see in the actual chapter, with it all being ice and cold water. But as you can see, our final picture book piece. I'm going to stress this, as this is a much harder challenge set than every other Purple Rift. If you've got all the picture book pieces, once you grab one more rift pond, just leave. It's much easier to completely ignore getting everything, as you don't need every single rift pond in a normal rift. I'm specifying it to be a normal rift. Those that have actually played A Hat in Time would know why I'm specifying a normal rift, but for those that haven't, I won't spoil. Just know that there is something a lot more dangerous to come. Now, I didn't mean to do that, but as you saw, you can technically cheat some of that kind of parkour. As I recall telling you, you can make yourself stuck in these purple blocks that you can use a dweller mask on to remove. If you do it just right, you'll zoom up them. But now, we've got enough rift ponds to get out of here, so like I said, let's get out of here. We have all the picture books, and all that's left is to grab our reward. Once you've done that, feel free to get rid of your badge. Lost at sea. At a young age, the captain enjoyed going to lessons with his tutor about becoming a sailor. So when he finally was able to obtain a degree and become a true sailor, he was very happy, along with his captain and tutor. He thought that one day he can go out at sea with his tutor as sort of a method of, I guess you could say, friendship. He was planning everything out ahead along with his tutor, and he was getting ready, but he couldn't get down due to all the other seals. His captain went on to a different ship. Years later, the captain was dreaming about him and his tutor at work co-sailing team on another voyage. However, one of the crew came with a letter, finding out that his tutor had sadly passed away due to his ship sinking. From that day onwards, the captain kind of became what he is now. Slumped, not really caring, and to a degree, depressed. And on a positive note, we have gotten a 3-star hat flare, the ice hat. So that's the story of the captain. A man once filled with joy over completing his lifelong goal and planning out a happy time, only for life to decide to make it short. Now that we've finished that, and we go ahead and repair the final pedestal, we're going to finish creating our final relic for Chapter 7. As you could likely remember, we dabbled on Chapter 7's whereabouts already, as we had stuck the crayons here. There's also a rift, but once you have enough timepieces, which is less for the Arctic cruise than it is for this, with the ice hat, you can head on under and prepare for the chapter, which is the only other free roam chapter. This is Yakuza Metro, and we'll begin tackling it next episode. So, as we don't have enough rift ponds or rift tokens anymore, sadly, we're not going to have another roll the machine. But next time on A Hat in Time, get ready to begin the Yakuza Metro. This is Mystic, and goodbye.